When a heavy wall mount fails, the result is usually immediate and destructive. A screw holding 50 pounds of weight tears completely out of the wall, taking a large chunk of plaster with it. These failures occur when the installer drills entirely into the empty, hollow cavity behind the drywall, or clips the outer edge of a wood stud, causing the wood to splinter under pressure. To mount heavy items safely, we need to calibrate the electronic stud finder to locate the exact center of a stud, ensuring the hardware is anchored to the strongest part of the wall. To use this tool effectively, we first have to understand the hidden architecture of the wall we are scanning. Behind a wall's smooth surface, the structure relies on vertical wood studs, spaced exactly 16 or 24 inches apart. Drywall is just compacted chalk dust with little integrity. Solid wood studs provide the load-bearing strength needed when fasteners embed deep into their core. Errors often stem from scanning across the wall too rapidly, or drilling as soon as the device indicates a density change. Electronic sensors trigger as they cross a density boundary. This initial beep marks the edge of the wood, which is often too thin or brittle to hold a screw under pressure. Step 1 is calibration. Place the device flat against the wall before you press the activation button, to allow the sensor to read the baseline density of the hollow space. Slowly slide the device to the right until the density alert triggers. Mark this boundary on a strip of blue painter's tape to establish the left edge of the stud. Move the stud finder a few inches past your first mark, recalibrate it, and slide it slowly back to the left. Mark the second boundary on your tape to find the opposite edge. With your 2 boundary marks in place, use a tape measure to identify the midpoint between them. Mark this center point clearly on the tape. Finding this midpoint ensures that the mounting screw will bypass the fragile edges and bite securely into the dense core of the wood. To verify your finding, measure exactly 16 inches horizontally from your center mark. You should find the next supporting stud in the sequence at this standard interval. You can also drill a small pilot hole on your center mark. If wood dust extracts from the hole, you have confirmed a direct hit on the stud. This diagram illustrates why locating the stud is mandatory for specific loads. A flush-mounted picture frame applies force directly down the face of the wall, but a cantilevered object, like a floating shelf, pulls outward. This creates a rotational force that stresses the drywall. Plastic expansion anchors work for simple downward force by gripping the back of the drywall. However, outward pulling leverage requires the structural holding power of a wood stud or a heavy-duty metal toggle bolt. Floating shelves, leaning mirrors, and articulated TD mounts must be anchored to a stud. Lightweight decor that sits flat against the paint can rely on standard drywall anchors. The safety of your mount depends on whether the hardware can resist the specific direction of force being applied. Once the center mark is verified, drive the mounting screw through the painter's tape. The fastener will pierce the drywall and lock into the solid wood core behind it. Peel away the tape and check the installation with a bubble level to ensure the hardware is perfectly horizontal. Because the hardware is anchored into the structure of the house, the shelf remains rigid under the sudden downward force of the books. A methodical sequence removes the guesswork from wall mounting. By locating the exact center of the stud, you eliminate the risk of structural failure and ensure a secure installation.